People who go to networking events typically do it without any kind of strategy. As a result, what they end up doing is they end up collecting a whole bunch of business cards, and they do one of three things typically with them. They put a rubber band around the cards, put them in their desk or a drawer, and eventually they all go in the trash. So they do nothing with it. Second thing they do is sometimes they scan them or they type them into a list so they can start sending people unsolicited newsletters and or other messages, which is spam, and they engage in what I call vomiting behavior. The third thing that people do is they engage in premature solicitation, which is trying to sell people before they're ready. I've done all of those three things, and they're not really effective. As you will see here, this is from in a book called The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes. Only 3% of the people who will eventually buy your product or service are actively looking to buy right now. So if you have 100 people in a room and they will buy your service, let's say you sell cars, well, 3% of them or 3 of them would be in the market to buy a car right now. There's another 7% who are receptive to buy, but they're not actively looking. That is, within a certain period of time, if you gave them a very good incentive right now, they would buy so right now. And then the vast majority of the people who will buy your product or service will do so at a later time. So as you can see, it's not a high percentage sale that people will do so right away. Here's another set of statistics. How many touch points does it take to close a sale? Well, it takes, as you can see this, 2%, which is similar to the 3% that I mentioned earlier, will close right away. Another 3% the second time around, 4% on the third, 10%, which means that 81% will touch between the 5th and the 12th touches. Now, when do most salespeople give or stop following up? Most of them stop before the 5th touch. So as a result of this, what you end up having is 90% of the people quit before the 5th touch. So you end up having 10% of the salespeople closing 79% of the prospects because they don't have a good follow-up system. So the problem that we all face if we're in sales is how do we follow up in a time and cost-effective manner without bugging people? And the solution for that is QuoteActions. QuoteActions is an incubator to keep your prospects warm so that when they are ready to buy, when they move into the 3%, they will remember you. What exactly is QuoteActions? It's a very elegant and subtle way to promote your product or services. If you recall the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks many, many years ago, what they had was they had 2 brands that were very prominently featured. One of them was FedEx and the other one was Wilson. And it was very subtle. It wasn't an in-your-face advertising. It was built into the script. QuoteActions is very similar. It is permission-based emails that prevent you from vomiting on people. And here's what a quote action looks like. What you do is it's a message from you, the person, to the person you're sending them. And you can see the contact information is all at the bottom in between a interesting quote and an action connected to it. So it's a very subtle way to maintain your visibility. You can offer it as a gift. Why? Because it's unrelated to your business. Motivational quotes are things that many people enjoy receiving. As you can see here, there's about 6.3 million searches for motivational quotes on Google, and that was ancient. That was about 3 years ago when I did this. Today, there would be a lot more. They're totally unrelated to your business. If you're offering somebody a gift, it should be unrelated to your business. Because if it's related to your business, it will be perceived as marketing. So if you're a printer and you offer free business cards, that's not perceived as a gift from you, but as a marketing or loss leader. It's a Trojan horse. It's a marketing product that is disguised as a gift. Again, it's unrelated to your business. It's something that people look forward to. As you can see here, people will say that they're eager to receive them. It's something that you can set and forget. So it takes about 10 or 15 minutes to set up QuoteActions, and thereafter, all you got to do is send one email for people to opt in, and then you don't have to do anything else with it. Some of the concerns that people have is that people will get annoyed with receiving quotes, and that's not true. Because it's opt-in, people have to accept them, And as you can see from feedback here from many subscribers, people actually enjoy receiving them. How do you monetize quote actions? Well, as you can see here, this is a message from a guy named Peter that says, like your emails, that makes me a more likely candidate to engage you when I'm free up more marketing dollars. See, this is a person who is not among the 3 or the 7%. He's in the 90%, but because I'm staying in touch with him, when the time is right, he will remember him. I've created some goodwill, and he'll be able to take advantage of that. Here's another example. This is somebody who I connected with on LinkedIn. Okay, they send me an invitation to connect. I send them a message giving them a gift to receive quote actions, as you can see here. And this person accepted it. And then she sent me a message a few weeks afterwards, and she says, you know, my name is Tara. I attended your LinkedIn training. I'm also receiving your quote actions. I really look forward to them every day. Okay, which is interesting because if you see here, okay, the date in here was August 8th. And the message that she sent to me was September 25th, which is about 6 weeks later. As a result of that, she ended up buying something from me on the 27th. So it was 6 or 8 weeks, and a large part of it was me staying in touch with them with quote actions. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how you can use quote actions, what it is. Enjoy an extraordinary day. Bye-bye.